Hello everyone, this is Across Univer. Today we are going to talk about some potentially life-changing stocks. But first, just like saying grace before a meal, I want to point out something important. I recently read some reports about the economic situation in Nigeria, where people are struggling to make ends meet. Toyan, a resident of Losos, works in the catering industry. She suffers from asthma, and her son has a similar condition. However, in Nigeria, medicine has become so expensive that they cannot afford the necessary inhalers. Amidst the worsening economic crisis, she is unsure how they will manage. As the economy evolves, things have become very difficult. You struggle to buy food and try to stock up on medications. She said, "For me, I can cut down on my own medication, but I won't cut down on my child's." I wanted to highlight this because if we look at the viewers of my channel, a large portion are from the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, Australia, Singapore, the Netherlands, and Sweden. These regions have the most viewers, though there are others as well. Over the past 2 or 3 years, the entire world has been hit by inflation, and it has not been fun. But we should always be grateful for what we have and the situations we are in, because as I can tell you, it's far worse out there for many people. They are struggling to find food and even to find more income. So this is just some food for thought to remind you to be thankful for what you have in this world. Alrighty guys, let's talk about some opportunities in this market. Recently, we have seen significant divergence. This is the craziest divergence I have ever seen. Russell has recently gone up by 11 percentage points, while NASDAQ has gone down. This kind of situation is unprecedented. You can see it on a heat map here. Look at that. All the big stocks are red, but the small ones are green. That picture is worth 1,000,000 words, right? Absolutely incredible. So let's talk about some opportunities in this market. We're going to talk about some stocks that are going to skyrocket in the coming months if this rotation continues. We're talking about some absolutely game-changing gains that will be had over the coming months if this rotation continues to play out. All right, guys, appreciate you joining me as always. Thanks so much for being here. In the past 1 to 2 years, we've seen some game-changing stocks. We're going to get into the next ones up here in just a moment, but I think we got to recap the ones that have been game changers for the past 1 to 2 years. These stocks I'm about to show you, a lot of them, if we go back in time 2 years ago today, a lot of these stocks were out of favor. It's important to understand things can change really rapidly in regards to the market. In terms of people not wanting a piece of stocks, they just can't stop selling them. To all of a sudden, everybody's running over themselves, trampling over themselves to buy these sorts of stocks. You look at something like Meta. You couldn't find somebody to be a buyer of the stock 2 years ago other than me. I mean, honestly, and maybe some of you guys out there, let me know if you bought Meta stock back in 2022. If you bought Meta in 2022, leave me a comment and say, "I bought Meta stock in 2022." I would love to hear from you guys and see how many people were actually buying Meta back in 2022. Leave me a comment down there, okay? But the moral of the story is the far majority of folks were selling that stock nonstop. And they did not stop selling until we got to October, November of that year in 2022. They sold all the way till the fourth quarter. They could not stop themselves from selling, right? And it just was like, where's the buying pressure? And then look at how much things have changed. Now we're sitting on a $631,000 gain on Meta stock. We're sitting on a 33% up rate. And keep in mind, I didn't even buy all my shares near the lows. I got some shares near the lows. I got some at like 88.94. I got some at $100-something, right? But keep in mind, I've been buying that stock on and off for quite a while. So it's not like I got in right at $88 or something like that. That would have been great if I got all my shares at that price. And yet, an absolute game changer of a stock. I mean, that's a crazy, crazy number there, right? I mean, look at that. I put $200,000 into it and we're sitting on $631,000 of gains. I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal, right? Tesla's obviously been a game-changing stock really over the past 10 plus years. But remember, back in early 2023, You could pick up Tesla shares for around $100 at that particular time. No one wanted a piece of Tesla. You look at a stock like Elf Beauty, that one's been a tremendous performer. It's my best performing stock as far as percent gain, right? Sitting on around a 2,500% gain. This is a crazy one. Check this out. I put $7,200 into the stock, and I'm sitting on a $181,000 of gains. My gosh, that's pretty wild. That should be a little motivating to folks to put in some research work, take this stuff seriously, right? Learn everything you got to learn in regards to valuing companies, understanding financial statements, understanding conference calls, 10Ks, 10Qs. Because when you know, the money's different. The money's different when you start putting in the work. The money's very, very different, right? Check out ELF on a 2-year chart. Here's a 2-year chart of ELF up 474% just in the past 2 years on the stock. And the NDAs had a tremendous past 2 years, right? Up 64%, but it just gets absolutely obliterated by ELF. Overall, the S&P 500's done very well the past 2 years, but it's gotten obliterated by ELF, right? Look at something like Palantir. Palantir stock now sitting on a 224% gain on the stock, now sitting on $110,000 of gains. And this one, I only put in $49,000, so put in $49,000, sitting on $110,000 of profits. And there's a lot of Palantir shareholders out there that feel like we're still early days in regards to this Palantir growth story. I'm one of those. Palantir revenues last year are very, very minuscule compared to where Palantir revenues are going to be in the year 2030, 2033, 2035. It's still an early day story in regards to this one. The amount of commercial growth this company's going to have over the next 5 to 10 years is absolutely ridiculous. And so absolutely tremendous gains there, right? Now let's talk about some stocks that are going to skyrocket in the coming months if this rotation that's going on right now continues. We're talking about some absolutely game-changing gains that will be had over the coming months if this rotation continues to play out. Thank you for joining me as always. Thanks so much for being here. We're at a new all-time high in terms of subscribers. I appreciate you all. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for your support, and see you next time.